Good afternoon, it's Toraph Moses. It's Friday, the 20 something. Can't remember. All I know it's Friday. Anywho, today is going to be a meditation day. I haven't done one in a couple of days. I think the last one was last week sometime. And I decided to rejuvenate, replenish my energies, and try to connect to the 0 point, current now moment, and just release all the built up tension, all worries, all things that are outside of my control. Just let it go and center myself, recalibrate my chakras, and see where the meditation takes us. So I'm just going to introduce some tools I'm going to be using, which is my selenite wand. This instrument is great for an etheric sword, a defense against any negatives. It will also act as my channeling tool to channel my perceived higher self. I also have my love quartz, also known as a rose quartz. It's a conductor of unconditional love and protection. I'm just going to place it here next to the phone, as well as my stone of amethyst, also great for channeling unconditional love and protection. And I'm just going to boost the unconditional love and protection shield around our device. I also have a chunk of amber, great for transmuting energies and protection. Hi, Sakwa. My cat is here. I'm just going to hold on to this and my selenite. But before we do the meditation, I like to bless our water. So we bless this water, we cleanse this water and purify this water, and we fill it with unconditional love, and we activate healing properties to restore and rejuvenate this vehicle known as Toraph Moses. So I'm just going to sample it. Thank you, water, and we love you. Okay, so I'm just going to get into a serene state, and then we're going to call on the elements, and let's do it. Okay, here we go. It's a cloudy afternoon. It's not my usual time to do a meditation. I usually do it early in the mornings, but I got caught up doing my website, and I wanted to complete that project as soon as possible and upload new content as well. I have the chakra burning, and a few hours ago I did a protection with burning sage throughout the house because I had a feeling I was going to do a meditation today. It's needed. We've been experiencing a heat wave in the last couple of days, and for the last 3 days, which was Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, I actually visited the beach on all 3 days, and I got to meet and encounter positive ocean elementals. And on that note, I'd like to call on the element of water. We have the Hudson, not so few blocks away from my residents. We like to sample this great river of its liquid water, and we will take this water and create a funnel, a vortex of liquid water, and we will funnel it down, enveloping this being known as Toraph Moses, and we will create a dome shield of liquid water, cocooning our auric field. I like to call on the element of air, surf as I nickname it. We ask to sample your cleansing, purifying air as well, calling it into our space, our sovereign space, and we will recreate a whip of air, a vortex of air, funneling it down, enveloping the element of water, creating and reinforcing this dome protection. I like to call on the element of fire. Although Helios, the sun, is being hidden by the clouds, we do feel his energies, his cosmic rays of love and light. We ask to borrow this cosmic flame of the grand central sun, sampling its fiery energy, this crimson, gold, rose flame, as we whirl it and whip it into a vortex of cosmic fire. The sensations of embers cracking and flying in the air, enveloping this being known as Toraph Moses, reinforcing our elemental barrier of air, water, now fire. We call on the element that is the earth, our earth mother, our creator and life giver, the earth. We have gratitude for your tireless efforts in nurturing us and protecting us, and offering us a home and a safe haven. We ask for the earth's mothers, soil, terrain, mountain, hills, valleys, from its mantle to all levels and layers of substrate. We ask, sample this rock, earth, element, with all of its crystals and gems, jewels and precious stones mixed into it. We will create a dome shield out of this beautiful element of the earth. And this will envelope our dome, our elemental dome, our protection dome against any phishing, spy, parasites, negative galactics and demonic spirits alike. We block all of these malevolent, evil types from entering our sacred, sovereign space. I'm going to take a sip of my water. earth, fire, air, and water. And now ether, the fifth element. This being known as Toraph Moses will be the catalyst, and the ether element. Bring together all four elements into the ether. We are now one. We are now one with all elements. We are now one and the same as the Mother, and the Mother is us. We will scan this vehicle known as Toraph Moses in this current hour. We will try to locate any entanglements, attachments, etheric devices, implants of alien origin or technology. And we will remove all of these constructs that keep it and him tethered, sick and depleted of energy. We will remove all such constructs from this being in this current now moment. We will fill his heart with positivity, with a hopefulness that he is not alone, a hopefulness that he is loved and well respected, not only on this plane of existence, but a multitude of timelines and dimensions, realities and densities, and all things that make up the universe. You'll feel hopelessness with unconditional love, as mentioned, and a sense of freedom. He is always concerned that he's being locked and chained, bounded to unnecessary constructs that he calls contracts. But he's beginning to understand these contracts are all in the mind. And once you have revealed these contracts, so you can just burn them away and fade into nothingness. We will release all restrictions and limitations that he has constructed in his mind, and we will replace it with an optimism. We will replace it with a balanced mindset. Thank you for that presentation, Mother Earth and all of the other elements. On that note, I'll take another sip of water. continue, I'd like to take the moment now to call on our higher self, our higher essence, the learning soul as I call her, the unnamed Toraph being. However, I believe I have a glimpse of her name, and we will reveal it when the time is right. Now, I would like to also call on our cosmic self, our cosmic source-like self, this being that resembles a nebulous cloud morphing into a flower, a chrysanthemum flower, and or a fiery phoenix bird. A few months ago, during my first initial trance meditation, where we had visions from the grand central sun of a fiery bird that resembles a nebula cloud en route to our solar system. At first I thought this was going to be another solar wave or energy wave that will help humanity and all of the Earth inhabitants. However, I now understand it's not a material, physical thing that's going to come to our space called Earth, but it is an epiphany of the self, of the inner self. This nebula fiery bird is actually my oversoul, the cosmic being that left source, or a fraction of source, that was sent off voluntarily to explore the cosmos, to gain knowledge and sensations, through learning by becoming either physical or semi-physical or physical / etheric energy-based bodies. And through that process, through learning and experiencing emotions and sensations through learning, it has been able to download many of these lifetimes into our Akashic. I call on my higher self and my oversoul to gain more wisdom and perspective in ourselves. Lately, he's been concerned about not only his physical health, although he feels great and looks great, but he's always concerned. I guess it's a human thing, because we live in the material playing field or reality. Everything is an external extension as a physical, emotional being. We perceive from the external. We blame others for our poor health, mental health. We blame others for our lack of opportunities. We blame others for not being able to acquire or have or become something of importance, gaining luxuries and monetary assets. all distractions, all meaningless, all pointless. So, what I'm trying to convey is center yourself. Look at yourself as a mirror. See your reflection. You're the one creating all of these variables, creating all issues through your concerns. And I know this is why I'm talking about it now, to gain perspective, to put things in a file, order, scenario, mindset, and trashing it away because it no longer serves this current now moment. A lot of the infighting with families, colleagues, friends, etc. have been on the rise because of different energies that's been channeled throughout our atmosphere and our planet. It has allowed people to do a lot of soul searching, or if they were not able to do their inner work, they will lash out using their exterior self, lashing out by showing, exerting their emotions, their aggressions, their dark nature through war and violence and harming others, having negative thoughts of others, wording their negative opinions on others, and wishing their thoughts to others. Another byproduct of these elemental energies and cosmic energies from the grand self and the sun and the cosmos is we are now able to manifest at a quicker rate. You see, humans have innate ability, an ancient ability from its first experiment, as well as the second, as well as the third, and the modern human, Homo sapiens, are the fourth experiment. And as is the fourth experiment, human, Homo sapiens, we are able to manifest through sheer thought, sheer will, and belief. These new energies has boosted our innate ability to manifest at a quicker rate. Things are becoming more tangible. Things are becoming more real. So if you are living in fear of a deadly virus that will kill everyone, you will have it instantly. It will manifest around you. Your reality will reflect that construct. It's because of your belief, your will, and your thoughts. Whereas someone that sees beauty in urban areas, in local parks, he sees through a 5D, fifth dimensional perception of reality. Going to these local urban parks, he's able to perceive higher beings that are elemental base and interstellar galactic base. So, in a nutshell, know who you are and what you stand for. If you're a person that's always worrying and fearing, anxious, frustrated, unfortunately, you will create that reality for yourself. But you can do the opposite and live your life without fear. Yes, be cautious and protect yourself, but don't let fear rule your life. Don't let others rule your life. Don't let followers rule your life. Open your eyes and see what's in front of you. You will see a world much different than what you think it is, or what it's showcased on television, radio, and the internet. It is a difficult mindset to achieve this, I know, because most of us are ignorant to the fact that there is a world beyond what's perceived on mainstream media platforms. But if you take a moment to sit still and go inward, look at yourself, look at your reflection, acknowledge all your encumbrances, your past traumas, rectifying it, resolving it, releasing it, and filling it. Fill this void with an unconditional love for the self first. Forgive yourself for what roles you played in hurting, harming others in the current lifetime and in your past. Forgive yourself, love yourself, and love those who have harmed and hurt you as well. Those are the first initial steps for calming this static blur haze, this haze of negativity, chaos, frustration, and anger that's seeping into everyone's being. You can cancel it all out, the fog that it is, blowing it away from your eyes. Another thing about the external I wish to touch on is that we understand the 3D matrix, or the current now moment. Everything is like capitalistic mindset, the material. And though it's fun acquiring luxuries and having things that don't really mean anything, understand that these tools and things that you use, they cannot come with you, they cannot cross over into the afterlife. Therefore, I question those who are so stuck in their head to clutch onto things that they cannot take with them in the afterlife. Why do you need to hold on to something that that's not there. Let go of what no longer serves you also means to let go of money. The concept of money has been bastardized, inverted to entrap people. It's another form of an addiction. As I mentioned in our previous postings, addictions are viruses, an etheric virus that infects everyone. And money has this magic embedded into it. This is why money is so easily used as a tool to manipulate others. Therefore, you must let go of what no longer serves you, and this also includes money and all addictions of the flesh. To liberate your mind, rather, before I go into that, true liberation as it's been perceived is as a physical manifestation or a physical way of being. That is true and not true at the same time. You see, it all starts and stems from the mind. This prison planet, so it's called, this 3D construct, was built purposely to not only trap you physically, but more so, it's all in your mind. A prison without walls. If you can control the mind, control the physicality of everything. So you perceive the world as a prison, you are in prison. If you perceive the world as freedom, you are free. However, this construct that I mentioned, this 3D matrix, was designed to hold souls so that they can learn and remember who they are before they volunteer to come into this jail cell. And as the veil is uplifting and more people are beginning to wake up, the more the dark controllers and good controllers implement new systems and curriculums into the matrix to make it harder for you to see what's in front of you. Therefore, again, I stress that you know who you are so you can see with two eyes, not one. Thank you for that presentation, higher self and my cosmic self. I do like to take a moment now with our question and answer. That way we could learn more from you and have my questions answered as well. But because it's so humid and hot, I am thirsty, so I will take a sip of my water. I appreciate my higher self, the learning soul, and my cosmic self for revealing themselves to me in these last few weeks and months. We started our journey during the lockdown as an experiment, as mentioned, to see what happens. I was very surprised on the outcome of meditation. first I didn't understand what a trance meditation is, but in your linear way of explaining it, it's basically you're hypnotizing yourself and asking yourself, your soul, for answers. No other external third party is needed. I've come to this epiphany and understanding and realization that our spirit, our soul, a majority of us are from other planets, solar systems, densities, and dimensions. For this reason, our soul has lived through many incarnations and lifetimes. Therefore, a living library of infinite wisdom and knowledge carried down through the ages. Therefore, what I'm trying to convey to my audience, you are the living library, as a Palladian out there would say. Her name is Barbara, and I can't remember her last name, but I know it starts with the letter M. You are the living library, as Barbara would say. Therefore, you hold the Holy Grail inside of you. You hold Shambhala inside of you. You hold Nirvana inside of you, etc., etc. There is no point of trying to go to the tallest mountain in Tibet. There's no point of walking through the sands of the Sahara into nothingness. There's no point of swimming to the deeps of the oceans, hoping to find Atlantis. It's all inside of you. And for this reason, the byproduct of these meditations has allowed us to see elemental beings of all types, from fairies, mermaids, crustacean folk, fish folk, gnomes, elves, and all sorts of a plethora of beings yet to be discovered. This 3D avatar, known as Toraph, has been experimenting with his drawings and his newfound psychic ability. However, he's always had this gift, if you would say. He just didn't realize it. And now he's sharing his gift with a broader audience. And hopefully people will be inspired to work on their passions, to work on a skilled craft, skilled art that makes them feel good and increase their vibration. And the byproduct of that, the universe will unfold right before your eyes. And your reality will shift, and you will perceive the world not as a violent vaccine mandates hate fighting amongst our brothers and sisters, corrupt politicians and their propaganda of perpetual doom and control and oppression. No, you will be able to break down all false narrative perceptions. You will be able to discern demons from angels, monsters from gods. You will be able to see it all, but it doesn't come with a silver platter. You have to work towards it, and that will entail you, the individual, to look at yourself. Not as an audit, not as an evaluation, not as a task. You have to want it for yourself, otherwise it won't work. If you feel like you have to fight physically, voice your opinions on a physical plane, you have to march to a stopping ground to voice and act out your aggression and your demands. You're only focusing on the external. Your holograms, your personalized holograms are these externals, 6 feet from you. And everywhere you walk, your hologram follows you like a shadow. But you're right there. But you're not even looking at yourself. You're only looking at your perceived external self, your cosmetic self, your indoctrinated self, your fabricated self. And I do have a question. My question to my higher self is, these gifts as a seer, where will this go in terms of, will this expand our life? Right now, we are living purposely a very simple, meager life. We don't have luxuries a lot of average people, but we're contented with what we have. But we would like to reach a bigger audience. Where would this project go of recording our channeled drawing sessions? Where do you see this going or evolving? I ask my higher self, the learning soul, is Toraph, female, unnamed being. I'm waiting for her reply. I see this gold light all over me now. You can come in. She says, it's up to you to decide how far you want to take it. She is very pleased that you found a way to blend your spirituality and your passions, which is your skill art, such as drawing, sketching, creating, painting. Melding it into one not only changes your reality and your perception around you, but it influences it and changes the reality of the rest of creation. And hopefully inspires other people to work on themselves and find their passions and work on their passions. These new energies that are already here and more to come will change the very fabric of our reality, our density. It's like light penetrating a bubble, one of your soap bubbles that you blow. It's like a dome shape, very thin lens, and light is reflected on it, and it bends the bubble because it's so powerful, this energy, this cosmic energy. And it's slightly bends it so it can seep inside the bubble. And that's when the energies are allowed to come out to our atmosphere, and people are affected by it. Some positively and some negatively, depending on their own biochemistry, mindset, etc. But my point is, this higher self is saying, it's up to you to decide how far you want to take it. We understand that you would like to make it into a career or help support you in some sort of way, but don't focus on that. Continue to experiment. Continue to go and live without boundaries. Everything will follow through. You will always have a roof over your head, food in your stomach. There is no need for you to worry about these necessities. You are already perceiving on a higher realm, therefore you can manifest what you need to survive. And this goes for all human beings. The cabal or dark controllers covet this power or gift that the human Homo sapien has. Which is why they manipulate humanity so harshly without even giving it time to rest. Because they know that you have this power, and they are using it and manipulating it for their own agendas, whether good or perceived bad, or perceived bad, perceived good. It's all about the individual, how they perceive good versus evil, for, against, right, wrong, etc. Thank you, higher self, for explaining that. My next question is, I've been concerned about my health, and I was wondering if we are okay. As we instruct you in the past, it's all about your mind and your mindset. Your body and your bodily functions work and to optimal levels, or denigrate based on your own beliefs, wills, and mindset. So if you perceive yourself as sick, dying. That is your reality. And your body will respond to it, and you will become sick and die. You know deep down in your heart you are healthy. You have nothing to worry about. You worry because we understand you're human and have been through a lot of psychological traumas, physical traumas throughout your childhood and adulthood years. However, you know better now, and because you have this wisdom, you can adjust your mindset, focus what's in front of you, heal internally and physically. You are healed. As simple and confusing and convoluted sounds to our audience, that is the answer. Thank you, higher self. I do have one more question. And this may sound controversial to our audience, but I'm just going to go ahead anyway. Last year, February 2019, I had a second session with the Liftings medium, Christopher Stephen Jacobs. And we discovered that rather I rediscovered that I had a past life during the time of when the Buddha, Siddhartha Gautama, walked the earth and taught, as well as the true Jesus, the true Christ. In our past incarnations, we were both the student and the teacher, both times, in two different timelines. Possibly many other timelines. But these two were premonitions from my childhood, time when I walked with Siddhartha and the true Jesus. My question to my higher self and or my source self is, now this may sound conflicted, but please be patient with me. I'm trying to put it in linear terms, in terms of a question. Why? No. What was learned in those two previous incarnations? What did they gain through learning from these vehicles, these master ascended prophets? What did they learn from them? What did they gain from their interactions? Was it merely to be instrumental in their own evolution or with ours? Please explain. I believe my higher self, no, my source self will answer. Well, they both will answer as one voice. for them to reply. Ensure we provide accurate, genuine, authentic information, I ask my higher self and my source self and the true benevolent source to audit this being known as Toraph Moses in this current now moment. Thank you. Two different timelines, maybe 500 to 1,000 years apart. The time of Siddhartha Gautama, aka the Buddha, approximately 3,000 years in your linear academic timeline. It did exist 2,000, 1,000 years or 500 years after the Buddha's death. Jesus, the true Jesus Christ, was born, and he too exists. Your encounters with these two beings of two different timelines and incarnations was basically what you've been doing with every incarnation. To learn through experience and experience through learning, an exchange of wisdom and knowledge, very similar to what you're doing now in the current now moment with your channelings of various elemental and galactic beings. They're exchanging their thoughts and wisdom as you are exchanging and giving your input and your impression onto them. This is what the exchange was when you met with Siddhartha, Buddha, and the true Jesus Christ. There was nothing special about it. Back then, it was just like you meeting a stranger on the street, casually conversing about politics, religion, and all the crazy stuff you humans do to pass time. It is that type of encounters, very similar. And eventually bonded, resonating with each other's wisdom, and became friends. So, it's nothing out of the ordinary. It just so happens that historians acknowledge them as these great prophets / ascended masters, and they fill the pages of your Bibles and Sanskrit scrolls. Thank you for that, higher self and cosmic self. Let this be an example to everyone. You are both God, Source, the Force. You have all of the power and knowledge in you. You just have to take a moment to look at yourself and see the beauty that you hold in your right fist, in your heart, and in your mind. As I close this channel, I'd like to thank True Benevolent Source, the people of the Toraph, my higher self and my cosmic source self, and all of the benevolent beings that are present, witnessing and watching this transmission and broadcast and channel. true benevolent source and my higher selves and the people of the Toraph to rejuvenate this vehicle known as Toraph Moses. Replenish any lost siphon energies. I feel this gold, electric blue lights filling my auric field. It's very reminiscent of a few weeks ago I went down, well, no, a few days ago, I went to the beach and I met several mermaids and recently a myrmidon, military official, and I will share that via YouTube as well as the drawings on it. And these were downloads, you see, but it comes in as energy. Now it's like a purple, electric, purple blue filling me. Thank you for replenishing my energies. I am Toraph Moses. Thank you for listening to the sound of my voice and the channel. I'm getting a little dizzy. The energies were so strong. Okay, thank you guys. Bye.